Hello everybody, what we have here today is an experiment with an Uno and a Mega. And the idea is, can you have fiber optic communication in a simple DIY setup between the two processors? So what I've got here is a piece of PETG, alright, looks like this, just a short piece of PETG, cut the ends off square. And what I've done is 3D printed these little holders. So it goes through like that. The LED sits in there like that. And it just rests on top of the LED. Okay? Nice and simple. So there's the transmitter. And there's our receiver. And I'll drop it. That's how we roll. So I've got two of these. So this is half duplex, is one direction only. So that one on there, you can see the filter on that one. Stick it in like that. Then the moment I put it in, the TS light starts flashing, because this message goes through this wire to this LED. There's a 330 ohm resistor over there. It's just one wire to this one. They're in the same PC, so they're sharing the 0 volts. That's why there's no 0 volt connection to this one. Bit naughty, but okay, it works. What I got here is the 5 volts comes to the cathode of the receiver. From the anode I'll go to a 10k and down to 0 volts, this blue wire. So what happens is, when there's an IR transmission, this photodiode becomes conductive and it pulls up towards 5 volts. So this 10k is pulled down. So when this LED is on, that's on, and the signal becomes high. This goes to pin 10. It goes to SoftwareSerial inside the Mega, which passes the signal and then sends it to the PC, to the serial window. Over here I'm just going into the transmit line of the Uno. So I'm using the hardware serial on the Uno to send the string out. But this is using SoftwareSerial, and then HardwareSerial out to send it back to the PC. So if you bear with me for a moment, I can flash up the code and show you what's going on here in just a moment. So let's move the mic to the PC, and what we do is put them side by side like that. Left screen off. Now I want the bench cam off. Okay, now you can see. Alright, move it up a little bit so you can see both sketches. Right, let's turn on my pointer. But what I'm doing here, this would be the Mega, so that's the receiver. So we're using SoftwareSerial.h, it's the library, and the pins for it are 11 and 10. So 11 is receive, 10 is receive, 11 is transmit. So start income message, there's our string. Serial begin. So you got two serial ports, serial, hardware serial, and your software serial. Now if the software serial sees something come in, it reads it into the buffer, and then when it sees the carriage return a new line, it knows that the string has ended, and then what it does is it prints it out. It says message received, and it prints the string that came in via the fiber. So that's the code in the receiver. Now here in the transmitter we set up serial comms, and we send a string, serial print hello via fiber, carriage return and a new line, and we do that once a second. So let's change that string. Today is the day. Alright, let's download that. Compiling, and there you can see the string has changed. That's coming into the mega. So that there was our simple little setup doing fiber optic comms between two Arduinos. Minimal components, a bit of PETG. You don't even need some fiber, just some clear 3D printing filament works, and our transmitter and receiver pair. So that's it. So what I do is we go back to Benchcam, attempt to anyway. And that was it. Alright, just a handful of components. This over here, two processors, and they talk to one another with infrared light over this piece of fiber, as it were, but it's PETG. I don't have any fiber on hand, so I improvised and it works. Alright, nice. So there you have it, something different. Once again had this idea and made it work. So it's awesome. And that concludes this video. So as you can see, minimal wiring, you understand what's going on here. There's our 0 volts, our 5 volts, our comms coming in from the receiver, and one wire to drive this LED. So it's a 330 ohm resistor over here, and then I've got a 10k pull down. So the receiver takes this signal high when it receives light from the transmitter. Doesn't get any more simple than that. Right, thanks for being here, watching this, enjoying it, learning something, seeing something you haven't seen before. Hope to see you around for more stuff next time. Thanks, take care, have an awesome day further, and I'll see you when I have another video. Bye.